nonetheless, a good opportunity here for Zepto to get back into it.
Yep, good luck, have fun. Hopefully we see ourselves another very entertaining match here. Of course, our second map of this best of 3. Cyclops now 1 win away from the grand final of the Japan Championship. $130,000 USD prize pool. So a lot of money on the line here for Cyclops. For Zepto, to keep their lifeline alive, they need to win out now 2 maps in a row against a team of high caliber. High caliber,
Let's go.
These things happen.
These things do happen.
I don't know. Did you know you just added me in Discord, but you didn't write anything?
Yeah. See the message above? Come on, you gotta know these things. Dockerby once again banned off by Cyclops.
Oh, right. Yes. Okay. Sorry. Yeah. So for those watching, of course, as we are nearing the end of the championship, it is getting very exciting. Of course, very tantalizing, as we typically like to say in the APAC region. Rob, it is a good time to share the channel and the stream with your friends, not just for tonight and not just for this match, but of course for tomorrow, Rob, as well. The grand final, the championship Sunday, as you will. So make sure if you're really enjoying the Japan Championship, go and share the Bravo channel with your friends. Of course, we'll be back nice and early tomorrow for another long day to close out the Japan Championship. Lots to go through again. This is our final game for the night to preface to everyone, but tomorrow another long day.
This is definitely not one you want to miss, though. There is no doubt about it. Zepto, a team on the rise, a team that continues to catch the eyes of all of us watching the domestic leagues in Japan. And a team that really could find themselves in the Japan League itself next year. They're going to fight through promo relegations, but again, their storyline does start here. Tachanka being 6-picked, and a Twitch as well from Anata.
Return to the Flores as well, which is an intriguing choice on Kafe. Of course, you can't use the Terra Durance on the Raquel, but it is very impactful actually on service cooking anyway, right? Like, it's actually an operator that is able to clear out a lot of bakery very easily, and then pushing on the side as well. So yeah, this is, I guess, the power of the Tachanka, right? Just being able to absolutely mincemeat that wall.
Yep. Yep, it's certainly a great use for rotations. You're seeing the holes being made every which way, and then of course
this is something that Marta would do.
10 seconds left.
Yeah,
I've seen Dev do this a lot.
5 seconds to go.
Look, Dev does many things, no doubt about it. Jeez, he's going to end up running out of ammo at this point. Well, Shoy has done all of the construction work on site for kitchen. New renovations surely will take place.
I'm sure if Guz was here, he'd be talking all about it, you know.
Yeah.
He'd have a lot to go over it. I've got absolutely nothing. It's cool. It looks awesome. Some rotations. It's a cool little strat. We'll see if it works. That's all I've got. You got anything?
Nah, I don't much to add for that. I think that, yeah, that's it. Oh, what I do find interesting is the fact that it's a Tachanka on the basement site. I mean, you've got your default plant toward the back of the B chassis that you are really trying to deny for, but I don't think you can ever find yourself in a position to deny that in safety as a Tachanka. Anyway, we'll wait and see how that one pans out. But they've got Smoke, they've got Echo, and they've got Tachanka. So this is a fortified lineup if I've ever seen one. Plus they've got the EDDs on Tayo. I mean, this could be really nasty. But Rekchan has been the first to fall in the map.
Yeah, none of it matters, though, if the kills go the way of Cyclops here on the attack of Kafe. We'll see if they can get off to a good start. Anaton and Aegator playing off of each other. Hello, Lua finds the head of Aegator, says, see you later. A minute 40 left in the round, 4 versus 4. Anaton has obviously been so impactful. Finds that kill behind the deployable shield. Lua is eliminated. There goes the smoke. No more gas babes available. Still a Nitrocell in the back pocket of Tayo. And I wonder, maybe do we see a late round EDD special somewhere in one of these doorways?
You'd have to imagine, especially if Shoy can really burn through the time here. Again, you've got to keep an eye on the ammo for Shoy. Surely going to start to run out if he continues to pre-fire these angles, which he's doing, but it won't make a difference because Gatorana has come in from behind and surely traded out. Dayo, not bad at all. 2 to stand here for Zepto.
They've still got that minced wall, though, for protection. or maybe just artwork at this point. I'm not sure if it's going to really offer much. And honestly, yeah, that Rotera drone could probably just destroy the whole thing. Well, that Yokai drone just got absolutely destroyed by Anderson. There's one more though, I think.
Did it? Did it get destroyed?
Did it not?
I thought he missed the shots. I mean, I might be going crazy here. Tayo finds the kill to Anderson. It's on here, Xenox.
Well, it might actually be on here. Blackray just guarding and watching Suzushi. Oh, Blackray just dies immediately. This is going to end up being a 1 versus 1. Tayo catches no. Suzushi had a relatively quiet game on Oregon. We'll say that. We'll leave it at that, Rob. But hey, comes up big to start off here on Kafe.
That's all that matters. Come up big when it counts. Suzushi, huge performance there in a 1v2 clutch. I am incredibly intrigued as to that lineup, Xenox. You had your Capcan, you had your Tachanka, you had your Smoke, you had your Echo, and none of them ended up having the use that they wanted to. Not a single player on that roster used the utility in the way that we would hope.
The Tachanka worked.
Oh, very true.
Did you not
very
see that wall?
Yeah, the wall was pretty messed up, man. The wall was pretty messed up. I am shocked though, like out of all the utility that could have been used, could have been burnt through, not a single piece was used. I think we saw one Yokai shot and that was it.
Yeah, and then I think it got destroyed immediately after it got that burst out anyway, right? So short-lived success. Either way, they can move forward into the second round now. They can move away from Kitchen if they really so choose to. I'm assuming it's Bar Cocktail from what we haven't seen, but the way that they are defending this, it looks as if it will be. So John on the old castle. See how these barricades are going to be deployed. If it's going to be mostly on the windows, and it looks as if that's the answer for old me.
Yeah, really locking that portion of the map off.
The map.
The 1. 2 plus 2 is 4.
2 plus 2 equals window.
Attacker's objective is to locate a bomb and defuse it.
Oh god. I'm sure guys will like that one. So yeah, the barricades. Oh, we have fun here. We have fun here. It looks like there's one window inside a piano that is not barricaded, and that's the one closest to the piano on the western side. However, for all intents and purposes, CYCLOPS might completely negate that and look to facilitate some sort of other push. This could be unbelievable. This name could be unbelievable. Oh, Pion!
Was it unbelievable?
It was unbelievable. Oh, Nanaton shut him down. Pion's still on the ground. They thought they were safe, but you're never safe with CYCLOPS.
Tayo is just sweating right now, expecting to get absolutely shot through from that window of Cocktail. Rekchan though now just eventually slowly makes his way up flight stairs. Still 2 minutes on the clock, but as you so obviously pointed out, Anatim with a great opening kill onto Lua. The repel game of CYCLOPS has actually been so far very effective. Washoy has completely whiffed that shot onto the Rotera drone, and that barbed wire gets minced. A little bit of angle and vert as well established. As I said before, the use of Flores on Kafe, it's not as common as, say, Oregon, but it is still very effective on certain sites. That drop down, it felt like Blackray didn't even have intel onto Washoy, yet still wins the fight anyway. 5 versus 2. Zepto's defense just looking like Swiss cheese.
Yeah.
Holes everywhere for the record, for those who missed that reference.
Yeah. Come on, mate, you use it enough. We should know by now.
I've done it probably 4 times this weekend.
Hey, sometimes we lean on our crutches and sometimes we lean onto Rekchan for the hope of Zepto. Tayo is at the back of bar. They now go side by side, but I don't think it's going to be enough, Xenox.
Side by side. Oh, nice Nitrocell from Tayo. Actually makes this a little bit interesting. I'll put the pipes away for the time being. 40 seconds left. Still a 1-man advantage though for CYCLOPS. Rotera drone's going to take out that castle barricade. They haven't been able to clear out this pixel position. In fact, that shield is still up, which is quite surprising. Diffuse it down. This is severely winnable for Zepto. Time to put your big boy pants on, Manic. Give it a go.
I'll try. Not been in this position many times. I don't think CYCLOPS have either. Chan has actually rotated across. This is really nicely played from Zepto. A 2 versus 5 crumbling in the hands of Cyclops. Tayo sits back, hide in freezer, and hides for the late game. 2 seconds left. They can't do anything. The 2 versus 5 is converted from Zepto, and Cyclops will be licking their wounds after that one.
Wow. I mean, we haven't seen anything like that since about maybe 30 minutes ago on Oregon, but wow. How do you let that one slip? And honestly, if Cyclops had been able to convert that round, the momentum really would have started to build up here on Kafe early on, but Zepto, they get a reprieve. They get themselves an opportunity to sort of build on this round win and slowly establish themselves back into this best-of-3 series. Of course, losing the first map on Oregon, they are down 1. And for Cyclops, it's seemingly like they've started well on Kafe, yet it's only now 1-1, right? They don't have the scoreboard to sort of back it up anymore when they probably should have. What, 2 versus 5? How do you lose that?
Especially when you consider the util that was still up for Zepto. I mean, you did preface that perfectly. There were 2 Goyo shields, the Vulcan shields. 1 toward Pixel, 1 in Washroom that just hadn't been dealt with. There was 1 player out on Repel from Piano who had no impact toward the late round, which I think was just utterly devastating by the time push came to shove. Now you really do turn back time and you think, where did it all start? It started with a very quick pick from an overzealous Cyclops player. The C4 then denied the plant that was almost close to being completed. That could have completely changed the round altogether. There were just little pieces that kept falling apart. But I will say this, Zepto played that perfectly. They were given the opportunities, and Rainbow Six is all about forced mistakes. It's all about forced errors. You have to capitalize on them. It's exactly what Zepto did. Look at Cyclops. Not afraid to get in nice and early. They don't know where Pion is. What is going on?
Yeah, it's some poor signs right now from Cyclops in the last couple of minutes here. It's some pretty rookie errors for a team full of experience. Zepto, though, are they going to be able to capitalize? It just feels like whoever's in a position to do well just seems to stumble and fall over, and then Stephen Bradbury comes around the corner and ends up winning this best of 3. Neither of them want it. That is a very obscure reference that only Australians would actually know, and obviously there's not many of us in the world.
We're all fake, don't you know?
And it's even an old obscure reference as well, mind you. Even Guz probably doesn't even know it. So I do apologize. Let's carry on. Minute 50 seconds in the remaining in the map. Hey, I've been doing this for 12 hours today. I'm allowed 1 slip up, Rob. You cannot laugh at that one. Come on.
One. It'd be okay if it was 1, Xenox.
Once you crack double digits of hours of working in a day, you're allowed to just have some fun.
Very true. Very true. Tayo on the pulse. Oh god, I've got the giggles now. Here they come. Tayo will be able to gain so much information on that pulse. Look, I would say generally like a bit of an interesting lineup when you're thinking about the Oryx, but we've already seen it play to full effect. Chan once again on the receiving end of an opening kill. It's more so a trade back from Cyclops. Oh, hello, dropping right down. Black Ray has just completely dismissed our show. What?
He just walked straight past him.
Not even thinking about it. Anaton's found a kill elsewhere.
Oh man, 40 seconds left, 3 versus 3. Anaton still looking to clear out that player inside a cocktail. He is Washoy, being able to now drop down into pillars, get back to safety, over towards site. Still time here for Cyclops on the attack, but defensively, the Nitro Cell for Lua and for Zepto to position. The site's still pretty much in their control. Lua over towards White Stairs. Not sure if he's going to be able to find anything with the Nitro Cell, but as I say it, I'm sure he will. It's just generally the way it goes for me. For White, 15 seconds left. Red time, Rob.
Yeah, Anaton's just gone down. Oh, Gator is the last player left. He could pop off, but he's only got 5 seconds to do so. And look how well Zepto have played this. They've just backed away. Hang on, don't you dare give him an opportunity. There's no way. There's no way.
Did I mention time?
Time?
Yeah,
I
time.
think there was no time. What
I
was he
actually
running out of? That's the real question.
For a second, I felt like Guz. Because there's so many times over the last year where I've been so excited that maybe there's a play happening, and Guz is like, there's no time. There was never any time. There was never any chance. Come on, Xenox, right? For that split second, I embodied Guz.
Yeah.
And I hope he's proud of me. Look, honestly, it's always fun to see that happen, but when there's like 3 seconds left, there literally is just no time. It's just not possible. But it just means that, honestly, for CYCLOPS, they had to do a better job earlier on in the round, so that was then not an issue. And then that, you know, if things do maybe fall apart late round, you can still have that time in the back pocket to fix some things. A pretty disjointed attack for the most part. It wasn't clinical, it wasn't clean. They didn't thoroughly clear out Cocktail. Like, what's going on there? How is that a possibility? But still, nevertheless, for Zepto, some decent signs here on the defense of Kafe. I don't have the stats in front of me. That was Dev's job today, and he's of course gone home. In fact, I think he went out to drink by himself.
Yeah.
Which is a little sad, but hey, good on him. Double thumbs up.
With water. Yeah.
We love you, Dev. Yeah, with the water, of course. I didn't mention he went drink anything else. It's maybe some coffee. Who knows? But either way,
he would be that guy at
the defense. The defense of Kafe, we probably expect Zepto to do well on. And yet CYCLOPS have actually been in a position to steal some rounds that they've not actually converted. So Zepto, in a way, to me, feels like they're just kind of getting away from CYCLOPS in some of these rounds, late round, that if they can now actually build momentum themselves, they can establish an even further increased lead.
It would get really hairy for CYCLOPS if Zepto end up, you know, on the latter part of this half really feeling quite comfortable. There's going to be some concerns. There are going to be some concerns. Hey, Gator! Nice shot! Tayo, never a shot with that one. Never a shot. And now, CYCLOPS have the opening pick again. But the big question is, are they going to be able to convert it? Zepto are... Man, their backs are always up against the wall. They will happily fight through this each and every time.
But there's a big but to that, right? And that big but is that they've been able to come through late rounds so many times. We saw it earlier with the 2 versus 5. We even saw it late round, last round as well. We saw it a little bit on Oregon too. I don't know. You've muted yourself. That's cheating. That's cheating. He is laughing so hard right now, but he's muted himself. The man is giggling. Compose yourself.
I don't know what you're talking about, Xenox. I'm not a giggler. I am a professional commentator, and we are definitely right now watching some incredible siege that Zepto are actually, like, honestly, Zepto really do scare me in the way that they're able to bring these rounds back. Oh no! Rekchan, don't get caught out. This would be the 2nd kill in a row that was caught out on an upside down rappel. It's not often you see 1, let alone 2.
By the way, Guz has just mentioned that we've lost the plot, but I don't think the plot was ever here to begin with. So Guz, you're wrong there. 4 versus 3 is Anaton again, this time though with the pistol, the Montang, showing its prowess late round. Now we can just play off of it for Suzushi. 50 seconds left, 1-man advantage. How many times those CYCLOPS been in this position role? How many times has Zepto then been able to bring it back late in the round? Time has also generally been an issue for CYCLOPS. Again, only 40 seconds left. The cross through fireplace. Rekchan hasn't been called over towards 90. Now peeking in. Over to your right, Rekchan. Right hand side. It's Gator.
He's waiting. He's waiting. Oh, he's missed the shot. Rekchan manages to find the opportunity. Anaton once again finds a trade. The ADS of the Monty comes up clutch. Lua, we've seen him in a 1v2. He's going to do it again, Xenox.
He's got a plant though. Lua knows this. He's just going to run over and deny. He gets off of it, but it doesn't matter. Lua, no way. What is this? How many times?
Every round. My goodness. Lua has come up massive in multiple rounds just in this series alone. There are so many rounds that are coming down to the wire, down to the last possible second. Anaton refuses to give up there, but it's just shut it's completely shut in his face. A
Speechless.
tactical timeout, my friend, has been called for CAG, and you can see why.
Speechless. Don't even know what to say right now. And honestly, CYCLOPS kind of had the facial expressions of Speechless as well, and the same emotions that I'm feeling. You can kind of read it on their faces a little bit here. The beauty of the old live cameras and the old land stage. Should mention for anyone that's maybe just tuned in, of course, this is a best of 3. We had Oregon earlier on, which was an 8-6 victory to CYCLOPS. It was a pretty close affair, a little bit of back and forth. There was some mistakes, there was some amazing plays. It had everything and some. Here on Kafe, though, it's been somewhat of a calamity for CYCLOPS. They've just made mistake after mistake. They've had positions of... they've been in positions that they're winning, and then they've just thrown them away late rounds so many times. You obviously got to give credit to Zepto as well, but I think it's CYCLOPS that are definitely going to be pinching themselves.
It has to be, because I don't think that they would think this is real. I did allude to the fact that we weren't entirely sure what we were going to see from CYCLOPS on Kafe. And it is coming to fruition right now. Sure, there are some rounds that are coming down to the wire, but it does feel like a lot of this is disjointed. Zepto just continue to be an absolute nuisance, an absolute mess, leading into a lot of chaos. And they're just not fighting back. There's not that same bite that we see to CYCLOPS usually. They're getting met with a similar playstyle to what they embody on their defense, and Zepto showing full well that they can punch up with the big dogs. And Guz has also made comment about the fact that that was a mining defense. It was a mining defense too.
I knew that. I just didn't think to bring it up because I didn't think we needed to.
Well, we do. You know, these are the things we need to talk about.
Nah, it's all good. We see them all the time. Extremely common. Yeah.
At least twice a game.
Oh, 100%. It's become meta, basically.
No, here's a fun little fact for you. That is,
what is it?
Looking back on the game that Devin I cast just before Goy Gun, actually went the full 4-peat on their Kafe defense. They went from top floor, they went to reading, then they went to mining, and then they went down into the kitchen, which is an interesting one. Whether you'll take it or leave it, that's another thing altogether. But yeah, there you go.
And they won them all?
They won them all. They won all 4, and that really is technically the World Tour. Hello, Bashoy. Nice little cheeky C4 with that through the hatch. Oh no. Oh, it was, you cheeky bugger.
Would have just been standing underneath top red hatch, throws out the nitrocell as it gets destroyed and finds a kill. That's, again, though, a rookie error from CYCLOPS to even allow that to happen. Either that or a very well thrown nitrocell to find that kill. Typically it gets opened up, you kind of fall back expecting it. Maybe just didn't expect it to happen. But that's also the Mav, by the way, eliminated. That's the only hard breach on the side of CYCLOPS. Still a little trade, nothing too crazy to get excited about. 3 versus 4 now rather than 4 versus 5. But now you lose your Twitch, so that's going to help. Again, even for Zepto, now they don't even have to worry about that Twitch either in taking out some of the utility.
So, just quickly, I think it's Rekchan all the way over at the bottom of red as Ayagate was on the bottom of white. They've essentially traded positions, but traded is not the name of the game here for CYCLOPS. Pion manages to find that pick. Oh god, they're getting massacred. We're mate, stick it in. We're going to Villa. We are well and truly going to Villa.
Yeah. We certainly are going to be heading to Villa. I don't see a way that CYCLOPS mentally sound to play on Kafe. If they could forfeit, they probably would at this point, because everything that could go wrong has gone wrong. This is just bizarre. CYCLOPS are playing like a rookie team, and Zepto are playing like the team that's just not allowing them to make these errors. They're punishing them. It's just crazy to see this. And you know what? It's not like CYCLOPS played all that amazing. they've called AFK. It's not like they played all that amazingly on Oregon either. You know, that was a very close back and forth map. Zepto could have easily walked away winners on Oregon. It could have been a reality. It didn't happen, obviously, so ifs and coulds and buts, etc. But yeah, and to a degree, Black Grape kind of was actually AFK there. Wasn't really trying to do a whole lot. I just love that they call that out. But what's that now? 1-4.
Yep, 1-4, and I mean, look, Kafe, defender sided. We do expect a 3-3-4-2 kind of half. So still, I get like if you want to get really technical here, still par for the course if you were looking from a Cyclops perspective. But Xenox, I don't think we're really looking at the score. It's more the mental game that's really taking a huge toll.
Yeah,
It's you know this is I'm just looking at the stats right now. It's the second most defender-sided map or third most defender-sided map behind Bank, which hasn't really had a lot of play in the Japan League. I believe it's followed closely by Clubhouse. So this really, the story should
Bank a lot. They won.
Too. No, I'm talking about from the Japan League, not.
Sorry, okay.
Championship.
That's okay.
No, that's all right. Yeah, that's okay. It's just expect to be better from them.
Attackers have located a bomb.
One time, SI remote caster, just expect a bit more class from you. But you know, I do believe that if Cyclops can make this 4-2, there is that ever looming large belief that they can bring this back, and we saw it in that final match there on Oregon previously. Cyclops were the one that were up 4-2, and we were saying, oh, Zepto not looking the greatest. Very quickly, that story changes when we get to the second half. So we'll hold on to hope here for Cyclops, regardless of the mental game. I'm sure that it's somewhat chalked at the moment, but we go back to reading here, Xenox, which is a site that we really consider to be the second best in terms of a defense win rate. But I guess we'll wait to see if that's true.
Well, last time I saw your beautiful face and head, I didn't realize you had some horn sticking out of it, because I see that you are playing Devil's Advocate. Doing it quite nicely, might I add as well. You are bringing up some very, very valid points. Anderson has taken like 10 steps back from that hatch.
I know now.
Last round.
I mean, wouldn't you? You wouldn't want that happening twice.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't want it happening the first time, do you? So twice is surely the nail in the coffin there. Gatorada's taking a lot of control. Hang on, what's going on here? Gatorada's already taking control of the fireplace hallway? What?
Yeah, I don't even know how he's managed to achieve that. I guess he's just pushed in through pillars, or did he? I honestly didn't even see. I mean, he's got pillars now. Unfortunately, they lost Aegator though, so there's the only hard breach immediately eliminated. Not probably going to be that impactful on reading Fireplace. It's just a bit of a shame more than anything, and then just losing the player in general. Rekchan probably just going to have to now fall back over towards Cocktail. Still 2 Vulcan shields available. Minute 20 seconds remaining, so it feels like a quick round, but not actually all that much time remaining. And then Rekchan finds the kill onto Gatorada.
Defender has been discovered.
This is not looking good for Cyclops.
Oh, nice. Can't get back in. Can't get back in. And it's done. Trying to force that top-down clear, but I don't know whether they're going to be able to do so. There's a lot of utility in front of them that they've got to deal with. Black Ray does find one. All of a sudden, this game looks like we could still have an opportunity for Cyclops. Unfortunately, while Shoy does get away from Cyclops' grip, which means that they are in that disadvantage.
Decent amount of time still as well, 45 seconds, and it was around the minute mark when they were finally able to really clear out Cocktail. It still took a little bit of time, and unfortunately, they don't have the time for Black Ray to really get a whole lot done, and now no more can be done from Black Ray. Big Nitro stuff from Tayo. Again, Zepto with a very big lead. I'm assuming Washoy had no health there, because he didn't really hit him all that much. 2 versus 3, 20 seconds left. And unfortunately, the flank from Lua goes completely undetected. Diffuser in Cocktail. It's 5-1 in the half in favor of Zepto.
Up and about now as well. That's the other concern that you got to start to take into account. The fact that this is LAN, the fact that Zepto pushed you on your best map, Oregon. They go to Kafe. They absolutely take you to town. 5-1 is a monstrous start for Zepto. And now we hope that CYCLOPS has something up their sleeve for this second half, for their defense on Kafe. Otherwise, we are well and truly heading to Villa. And heading to Villa in a, again, chalked mind state. It's a very, very dangerous place to be. Young gunner Zepto. Storyline has been this whole time, Master, Apprentice. They are now showcasing what it takes to beat the best. It means you do have to become the best, there's no doubt about it. There's been so many opportunities here, Xenox, where CYCLOPS seem to have just tripped at that last hurdle.
Yeah, more so in the earlier rounds of that first half rather than the latter rounds. I think the latter rounds, Zepto were probably a little bit more proficient and just simply were better. But some of those earlier rounds, CYCLOPS found themselves in good positions, but just weren't able to really capitalize and win out rounds. And it's come back to bite them here on Kafe. And something that's already been a very common theme here at the Japan Championship, especially for, I feel like, almost the majority of the best of threes that have gone the distance, is teams winning each other's map picks has been extremely common for whatever reason. In this case, obviously, we already know Oregon was a very good map for CYCLOPS. We don't know why Zepto chose it. And I guess Kafe is a very bad map for CYCLOPS, and we don't know why they chose it. The map ban for this match, for this best of three, makes no sense. And I guess the game that we've had from it has honestly played out perfectly to summarize that.
Yeah, it certainly has. Chan finding the opening kill on the Gatorada as well. Gatorada has been so quiet this game. I mean, so too has Suzu once again. After that first round, Xenox, Suzu hasn't done a single kill.
Yeah, and obviously didn't really perform at all on Oregon. Suzuki had basically, I think it was like a 2-14 kind of scoreline, or 2-11, something like that. Obviously, we don't want to dig too deep on one player, but it is now 2 maps in a row now that Suzu hasn't been able to find a way to really impact the games and impact the rounds. And again, Zepto with the opening kill. Again, Zepto sort of making things happen. And again, Zepto making things happen. I mean, at this point, they're basically just speed running Kafe against CYCLOPS. A team that was at the Mexico Major not all that long ago.
Going live. Throwing frag.
Black Ray trying to send it out the window. I thought the Vault was coming, but it doesn't. In fact, it's just the flashes. Mayo plays that perfectly, and again, this just continues to get worse. Suzu can't find the kill.
Yeah, this match is over.
Yeah, Ayagata is the only player left here, Xenox, and there's just nothing in this round. There's nothing in this game.
No, this is over. So Cafe's done. So we head over to Villa after this. It is a best of 3, just to iterate. In some ways, I would definitely love to just cast a curse this right now and see Ayagata pull off the 1v5 and to somehow salvage this. It's not going to happen. 6-1 will be the squad line, and at that point, CYCLOPS need 5 rounds in a row to extend this map of Kafe. It is extraordinarily unlikely to happen. So Villa after this is a map that both teams have seen success on, but more so on the side of Zepto. In the calendar year, CYCLOPS with a 4-3 record on Villa, but again, we have to remember that the competition that they play against considered a higher tier. And for Zepto, 8-2, but a lot of that in the Japan Open throughout this year. So we can't really just say it on face value that Zepto's like the much better Villa team. Sure, they've had better results on it. And for CYCLOPS, I mean, the last time they played it was actually in the APAC playoffs where they lost to Mercenaries, which is a South Asia team.
Attackers need to locate and defuse.
So it doesn't spell good news for CYCLOPS. Remembering, they are the last APAC North team remaining here for the Japan Championship. We started with CYCLOPS, Guts, and Fav, all from APAC North. Guts and Fav both got eliminated. And this is not just some silly little tournament where, oh, CYCLOPS are, you know, saving strats for whatever's coming up, which, I mean, for them, nothing is coming up. This is a $130,000 USD tournament. This is huge.
It's something that we expect them to consistently perform in. The domestic league, the domestic tournaments that they fight in. Really, that's where we expect them to
It's like
deliver.
3 times the prize pool of winning APAC North. Oh, for one stage.
That's crazy. That's actually crazy. And Zepto, I guess they get it. They get the mission. They get what is to be accomplished and how to accomplish it. Looks like a little bit of pressure toward the front of the lobby here. Suzu will have the support of Anatan toward Brown. It's a really nice drone from Zepto. That's so much intel. That is dangerous. It is deadly, and it may well be for the demise of Suzu.
Maybe the demise of Cyclops. They are going to be severely tested mentally going into the next map. Anatan, though, has been a shining light where only darkness has been enveloping Cyclops. Anatan shines truly. Now 9 and 7. And they've got themselves a 2-man advantage, although it's only short-lived. Anatan does get shut down and traded. Fortunately, though, Suzuki finds a 3rd kill in this map, gets that trade as well, and keeps that 2-player advantage for Cyclops.
Lua, oh goodness me, you're gonna be so careful if you are. Suzu there. Don't just want to give that one up for free. Minute 30, last smoke canister has been deployed. We look elsewhere. Looks like they've got an extension, 2 players up above, 1 toward red and 1 in mining. Zepto with only 2 players. This is a really difficult position for them to try and play from because Cyclops have all the control all over the map. And they can funnel them, they can force them into the area that they don't want them to play.
Have you heard of the story of the comeback of Cyclops? They were down 6-1 on Kafe. And then they won 5 in a row, Rob. It's a story not yet told, it's not one yet written, but like any great story of its kind, it starts with 1 round and builds up from there. Obviously for Zepto, they would hate to hear of such a story. They would like to close this out. The Suzuki holds freezes successfully. Pion now in a 1 versus 3. Well, that's 1, technically 2 in the last couple of seconds. Now in a 1 versus 2, but low on health. And Gatarada with the best seat in the house.
Dangerous. Pion will get absolutely destroyed. Destroyed.
That's 1.
As he tries to make his way. It is 1. I heard the story started like this, Xenox.
Yeah, it would have started off with no hope, no chance, no one backing them in, but they persevered and they showed their mental fortitude to just win 1 round at a time. On the defense of Kafe, that's not so hard, Rob. Not all that difficult. If Zepto can do it, why can't Cyclops Athlete Gaming? They win the first one of their defense, they will now need to win the next 4.
It's going to be no easy task, especially with Zepto on fire. I guess the only saving grace right now is that Cyclops are on their defense, and it is Kafe. Is their map pick. We expect big things from Cyclops, and so far, they haven't delivered on this second map. Even on the first map, they tripped, they stumbled, they fell, they did dust themselves back off, and they were immediately back on the saddle. However, this time it just feels a little bit out of reach. 4 rounds straight is what's going to be needed on a Zepto that is firing on all cylinders.
5 seconds left.
Deploying shield.
Attacker's objective is to locate a bomb and defuse.
Yeah, and they're going to have to play very well to win from here. 4 rounds in a row, not an easy feat when Zepto have been playing extraordinarily well here on Kafe. When it started a little slow, won some rounds, maybe they shouldn't, but still then really picked it up and honestly crushed Cyclops in a lot of the rounds. do have to wonder though mentally if Cyclops can win, say like the next two, bring it back to a 6-4 scoreline. Does Zepto then pull the trigger on a tactical timeout? Do they then start worrying about the possibilities of this said comeback eventuating? I mean, on the defense of Kafe, it's definitely not an impossibility. Cyclops is a very good team. When they're switched on, they are still a very, very good team. When they tend to lack a little bit, then yeah, they can fall off the wagon pretty hard, maybe harder than any sort of top team. And it's getting some good information there with the Yokai. Gatorada, of course, still holding piano stage, and then drops down into train.
Would agree, it's definitely not impossible. It certainly is a lot more improbable. The use of those Yokais, again, we've touched on it before. I enjoy how aggressive some of these Japanese teams use the Yokais. Really enables some more aggressive play styles on the defense. The utility works perfectly with a player that can swing. You know, I think more so to the players like Blackray and Gatorada that are allowed to do this kind of stuff. Gator, who's on the vigil, could really facilitate something quite deadly there. Oh, Rich, just going to be missing the shots there. Nevertheless, oh, Gatorada's in a phenomenal position to try and shut that down, but it looks like Blackray's done it for him.
I just have to wonder how he even sort of won that fight. Rekchen, of course, was looking down above from the hatch. Must have found a very decent angle and caught Rekchen off guard. Maybe he wasn't expecting him to peek back from there. Really good start to the round for Cyclops. It's not round over for Zepto by any means, but maybe now it could be. Just realized, by the way, it's a mining defense. Again, I told you, Rob, it's common. You don't really need to bring it up. That's two now in the map.
We'll talk about their setup in a second here for Cyclops because it's really quite intriguing. They're holding quite firm. Zepto, they have not been able to find anything. Blackray shuts down one of the remaining members, Lua. Manages to find a trade, but that's all they're going to get. That is literally all that Cyclops have given them. A phenomenal defense on their mining hold. One thing I really loved about that, and it's something that we don't see at all in APAC South or in OCN, is that mining defense. And the way that Cyclops played that then, the extension that they had from all the way back at bar, watching into piano, and again, they showed face, they backed away, they reaggressed. It was gorgeous. It was phenomenal. And I guess Zepto played into it too. Zepto played into that roam clear, which is exactly what Cyclops are hoping for. You could see the utility they had. They had everything that they could possibly need on that top floor. And it's just all too easy.
Yeah, and it's at this part of the story as well where everyone starts to wonder, is this actually going to happen? They've won 2 in a row. Is this story going to have a happy ending for Cyclops? Are they going to be able to fulfill the fairy tale? All they need is the next one. I know obviously they technically need 3 in a row, but the next one really puts the pressure onto Zepto. Because at that point you start to wonder, geez, they've only just gone and done the world tour. They get to now do that world tour again to send it to OT. And then who knows from that point, I mean, what was the score? 6-1. 6-1, Rob, right? At any point that a match that's at 6-1 goes into OT, you know who the favorite is at that point in OT. The team that was down 6-1 are on an absolute high. They're on that momentum rate. So I would say if Cyclops win this round, Zepto need to take a tactical timeout.
Yep. And they've still got that up their sleeve. They've still got that ability to lean onto that. Zepto. Prime position. They're in the driver's seat. Maybe this is going to be an incredibly defender-sided Kafe. You couldn't imagine a 5-1 though. In the form that Zepto are in, you could not imagine that that would be the real the moneymaker for Cyclops. But hey, Cyclops do some pretty crazy things all the time. You're gonna lose that drone instantly.
Hey, all part of the plan though. For Rekchat, the nade, although it doesn't quite catch all that much on the Gatorada. Tries to be a bit cheeky there with the upside down repel. Doesn't quite find what he's looking for, and so far all of that now just, I guess, all for naught. Was he best successful for Gator, and he can now play the drone game himself.
waiting for Zepto's response here. Where are they going to find this opening? Anaton, very happy to be aggressive at the bottom of Skylight. Pretty dangerous, but they still have control of Cigar. There's not too much that Zepto can really do. So there's one player there just waiting for that drop from the hatch. Chan now can re-aggress. Won't find anything just yet. Relatively quiet for the first minute 30 here. Generally expect Zepto to be well and truly in the building and forcing the issue. This is the problem with that top floor take. It can be incredibly hard to flush out.
Yeah, and this match has taken a bit of a shift in its tone, right? Zepto's starting to be a little bit more calculated with their attack, a little bit less aggressive, but also a bit more methodical, and that finds them to kill into Garada. And then Rackman just goes and does that. He just goes and kills himself. That is incredible. With 1 minute 5 seconds left, you had a 5-on-4 advantage, and he's ended up naded himself on the entry.
Zepto think they need the handicap. Right now, you definitely do not want to be giving that opportunity over to Cyclops. They now sit back deep, and Black Ray is in a dangerous position underneath. Io gets shut down by Anaton. Xenox, have you heard of the comeback?
Yes. It's at that point now where Cyclops believe themselves that they are capable of this comeback. Where Shoy, feeling the pressure, tries to go for the full white play, sends it into Cocktail, runs literally straight past. He doesn't even realize that the player is inside of the smoke. He's got no help. The pistol can't save him. 6-4. 3 rounds in a row now to Cyclops. If I don't see a tactical timeout from Zepto, I'm severely questioning their thought process at this point. This is starting to turn into a very real story and not just a fantasy.
I see it, Xenox.
But you don't believe it.
I do not believe it. CAG 2 rounds away from making this possible. Zepto are fully aware of the consequences of dropping this map, of forcing this to OT. Cyclops staring right down the barrel at continuing their clean streak of 2-0s in this tournament. They
And no tactical timeout.
None. That's what I was seeing, but that was what I was not believing.
Yeah. And okay, that's fine. Technically, you can take it at 6-5 if that does eventuate. Which, at that point, if you don't take it at 6-5, you're basically trolling.
10 seconds to go.
So for Zepto now, 6-4's the scoreline, but you know, reading Fireplace, Rob, historically is a site that is very difficult to take for the attacking team. And the fact that Zepto have kind of tried to switch mentally to a bit more of a methodical approach on their attack probably doesn't bode well for them. It was their aggression. It was a lot of the plays that you couldn't quite anticipate in the first half that were basically winning them those rounds. You do not want to play into Cyclops' hand here. That hand being playing the more conventional approach, because Cyclops has seen it all. They've seen it at the highest levels. The Majors, the SIs, the Apex. They've seen those top teams play methodically and structured, and at times have been able to deal with it, at other times no. But Zepto need to play into what has been successful for them on Oregon and Kafe so far, which is basically that chaotic nature. Don't move away from that, otherwise you will lose.
This is one thing that Cyclops have done really well. And it's in playing aggressive for that first 30 seconds, for the first minute. Slowing Zepto right down and then backing away immediately. There's no need for Anaton to try and stick around there. You know that that Zepto are going to be trying to shut you down. And as Cyclops, you don't want to lose that player early, just plain and simple. This is a really interesting defense. The extension across into Train as well as the extension above, the mirror is facing out into the red hallway as well as out into Piano on that top floor. So Zepto are going to have an incredibly difficult time trying to deal with this. And I do question how they are going to, because Cyclops have been pretty sound here.
Oh, Pion. They need, honestly, something to go their way. They need just a moment of luck a random wall bang, or just to catch a mistake, or to catch a member of CYCLOPS in a poor position momentarily. Rekchan maybe just gets aggressive over towards Bar, but what a shot from Blackray. Diffuser down as well. Rekchan doesn't gain anything just yet. Tayo though finds a kill. Oh, big Nitrocell from Gator. CYCLOPS retain their lead, their advantage here. 4 versus 3.
They have lost that all-important vertical control though. Knowing CYCLOPS, there will be someone, somewhere, thinking about retaking this, thinking about putting the pressure back on. You gotta remember, Gatorada is extended toward mining. He could come up the red stairs and just cause a little bit of havoc. Washoi, it's actually going to be Suzu that does that. Washoi, though, will have already placed all the air jabs needed.
Yeah, but look at the time, 30 seconds left. If you have to just go for that default plant, it doesn't generally work out. Washoi just immediately just drops to his death. 3 versus 2 though, with Pion following up immediately, getting the trade. They're actually both down here at the moment with only 15 seconds left though. Tayo and Pion now move on to site, but immediately it's Gatorada watching the prone position, has to pick up the diffuser. There's no time, he has to stick it. Can't do anything else but stick this diffuser. Suzushi, Anaton will win the round here for CYCLOPS. It's 6-5. It is do or die time now for Zepto. You've got to take this time out, you need it.
Pondering the opportunities here for Zepto.
I've got to double check. Have they maybe already taken it? I don't think that they have. I haven't seen confirmation that they've taken it.
No, CAG took theirs in about the 2nd or 3rd round. And other than that, we haven't.
This does
had a
seem like
Zepto
maybe an
pack.
extended break though.
Yes,
This could be the
it is.
tactical timeout.
It is.
No
No.
information, of course,
No.
yet, but I don't know, the way they're drinking their water
Has to
bottles,
be.
I'm thinking maybe this could be it. No, it's not, Rob. Can you believe it? They've elected to forego it again. It's now 6-5. You're about to allow CYCLOPS breathing room. If they win this round, they can then once again afford to slip up at least once in OT. It just takes that pressure off, because the pressure technically is still on CYCLOPS.
Yes.
One mistake, one loss, and they lose the map. All this comeback, 4 rounds in a row, then for nothing. They get nothing out of it, right? So the pressure is still on CYCLOPS. For Zepto, they could still technically even lose this round, go to OT and win it. So the pressure's still not really on Zepto, but in some ways it is. Because if you lose this round, CYCLOPS then send it to OT. They've won 5 in a row. How do you honestly then think you're going to win in OT? You're not going to.
No, and I think the storyline right now as well is the fact that CAG have brought this back. Regardless of whether they win or lose this, sure, they may not take anything away if they lose this, but they take the momentum into Villa. They take the ability, knowing that they could chip away at Zepto, knowing that all they needed was an extra round on their attack, and maybe this would have been possible. But regardless, Zepto, with their backs up against the wall, they're really in a bit of a do-or-die situation. You're 100% correct. This is a huge mental dip for the roster that we had so much hope for. 6-1 was the scoreline, Xenox.
Yeah. I thought it was a speed run. I thought
Yep.
we were a certainty for Villa. Started to make some jokes about it. Should mention our lovely analyst in Gaz has mentioned, you just know that CYCLOPS have made this comeback only to lose this round to then go to Villa. And honestly, it can be a reality. Anaton is down early on. That's something that Zepto have not really been able to achieve in the rounds prior to this. They've always been consistently down early. Now, they're up early. CYCLOPS need to bring one back somewhere. And where's that going to come from?
And it's on as
Will they
well.
fall the final hurdle would be disgusting for them, Rob.
Don't say it. Don't say it yet. Don't say it yet. It's okay. Anaton has been by far the most impactful player for both rosters. He's been unbelievable for CYCLOPS. He's done so much damage. But with him down and out, who do they look to? Blackray, Gator. What can they get done here? Blackray is on the Echo. The Yokai should well and truly come into full effect should that time continue to tick away in the fashion that it is.
And by eliminating Anaton so early in the round, they have just basically been able to establish vert control so early on into the round, a minute, and they're going to be able to open up a lot of these sight lines with that sledge, really put the pressure onto these Cyclops players on site. Ayegator trying to play a little bit off site here. Nice little ping.
no.
What a drone from Pion. That is such an easy kill onto Black Ray, who's of course sitting on his yokai. He's wondering, how is this happening? He stays alive though. That could come back to bite Zepto. In all honesty, they should have killed him there.
They should have, but now they've got that drone. Now they've got that information. Xenos, 25 seconds remain, and now they start to take control.
Rekchan straight onto site. That's why Show's getting that plant down. Ayegator with the elimination onto Loa. Oh, denied by the burst. That's going to be able to at least restart this countdown. Oh, never mind. Another one. Why not? Black Ray is really just denying here. There's only 10 seconds left. They could maybe rush back onto site, but the retake, technically the fuse are still not even down. Can they deny it another time? Ayegator, Black Ray finding the kills. It's 4 versus 2. Black Ray catches him immediately. Beyond in 1 versus 3. And has to deny this retake from eventuating. Black Ray straight on it. Gatorada straight onto the kill. Overtime is next in line, the next chapter of this story.
Xenox. Oh. This is why you're at the pinnacle of 2 esports.
Oh, jeez. Don't say
Rainbow
that.
Six and Rainbow Six Siege. Unbelievable. Unbelievable from you, but unbelievable from CAG.
Zepto timeout. Tactical timeout taken now, but I have a feeling it might be too late.
Yeah. Too little, too late is really the phrase that we use here. You've given CAG the room. You've let them back into this game. And maybe not even necessarily let them back into this game as much as CAG have kicked their way down the door and into the homes of Zepto, to which there has been no response. The deadpan faces from the members of Zepto says it all. The opportunity on this stage, you're at LAN, you're up against one of the biggest and best teams in all of APAC. You are up against the best team from Japan. You've already taken down Guts Gaming. And now, at the hurdle of which you should have leapt over with great bound, you have tripped and stumbled, but you can still find your way home. You can still push this to Villa.
Yep. Still a way to change the ending of this storybook chapter, and obviously tactical timeout now gives them a little bit of time to really reset things, but it goes both ways. It goes for both teams now. Like, this is OT, but in a way this is like a chance also for Cyclops to breathe, because they would have just been playing on pure adrenaline for so long. 5 rounds in a row they had to win. 5 opportunities for Zepto to close it out. 5 opportunities they were unable to secure. Now we head to overtime. Zepto find themselves on the attack once again, just as they have been throughout that entire second half where they were so unsuccessful. Can now be the opportunity in overtime to secure that match point once again.
Gotta be here, gotta be now. Can't falter. 15 seconds left of this prep. We see the remaining barricades go toward under the double door of mining, no doubt. Potentially one up above. Cyclops' defense have been solid and sound, there's no doubt about it. They almost could have gone 6 in a row. They almost could have gone 6 in a row. It's just not to be. What's going on here? What is this cheek? I love this from Anaton. I absolutely love this from Anaton.
Yeah, basically you get to peek it and get info without peeking it. Makes it completely safe.
What are they going to do? What are they going to do?
Do they just
They're all
rush this?
weird.
Do they just like gone 6 the barricade and just rush onto site through pillars?
I think they do. Oh no.
Maybe
no.
not. Never mind.
That drone getting shot out completely changes the mission there, but I'm telling you right now, they were looking at that, licking their lips, thinking we're on like Donkey Kong, and it could well have been. But instead, They opt out of it. Now here's a little bit of an issue, if you will. 45 seconds have now gone past, more than that. And Zepto haven't started on this defense. They haven't started cracking that egg, which is a serious issue when you consider how important that vertical control is, how important time lends itself on this site.
Yep.
So they need to get to work, just like that. Just like
big one.
that.
Gatorado not on site, of course. He was playing above, but he gets caught by Rekchan. Almost actually somewhat identical to our last round, where Anaton got caught early. And obviously, and this also kind of happened too, but it was actually the other way around. This time, though, Anaton gets some freebie information top red, rather than in the last round, it was freebie information onto Anaton. Oh, sorry, onto the Echo, whoever it wasn't Anaton. He was dead, but still, Aegate it, trying to maybe just make sure that top white's still fully in their hands. Getting aggressive a little bit here on the Vigil. Minute 10 seconds left. They don't have to get too aggressive over towards Cocktail. There isn't much time. They're not going to be able to establish all that match. He makes the cross, but he runs literally into the nade. What are you doing, Aegate? You did not need to do that. He probably just wanted like above pillar control, and that was it, over towards the balcony, but he literally just runs into the nade. What are you doing? It's a 3 versus 5. You've come back all this way to send it to OT, and you bring this in this round?
We take a very deep breath right now. Zepto with only 3 drones left, but look at all the utility. They still have 3 nades. They have all their flashes. They've got their smokes on Pion. They've got everything they need. They've got intel coming out of their ears. This has to be confirmed by Zepto.
No. Is there a chance that this story continues on its path towards a Cyclops redemption, a Cyclops comeback? Black Grace down, out for the count, 1 versus 4. Unless there's a play through the Yokai drone, unless there's a denial of the plant, it's the only way. It won't be the way though. Zepto reconfirm match point on Kafe, as has been basically for the last 15 minutes. 2 more opportunities to send us to Villa.
God, it feels like half an hour, Xenox. It feels like half an hour we have been teetering on the point. Zepto, 2 rounds now to make this work. You've got 1 defense and 1 more attack left. You're sent home packing at this point. You lose this, adios. Remembering as well, Oregon went to OT. CAG have been pushed to their limits on both maps. They rose to the occasion on Oregon. We asked them to do the same here. Show us that experience. Show us why we have you coming in as the Goliath of this story. David has certainly thrown his fair share of rocks.
Yeah, and one thing I would hate more than anything, and I'll just say it now, if this does go to Villa, please at least just play out in a similar fashion to Kafe and Oregon. I hate it when you get these awesome best of 3s where the first 2 maps are like super duper close, everyone's excited, they go and grab like a drink, they're like, oh, I can't wait for this 3rd map, and then it's like a 7-1, and you're just like, well, that was not worth waiting around for. So, if it does happen, please, Zepto, don't make this a one-off. At least bring it on Villa, but they've got to, of course, finish the job. Something they've not really been able to do successfully so far here on Kafe. They had many chances in finishing off Kafe. Now Cyclops need to win 2 in a row. 1 on the attack, then 1 on the defense, if they are to confirm their place in the grand final tomorrow.
That's just it, Xenox. One of these teams, only one of these teams can go to that grand final. All thoughts would have been for Cyclops, no doubt about it. Zepto have made an incredible call.
Hang on a second. What's with the early adrenal surge?
I got excited too.
Cheeky?
I got excited, but I think it's been called far too early for something to have happened.
Okay.
Maybe
expecting a spawn peak?
Potentially. Whatever it was, it's faded into the midst. Only 2 left now on those surges, on those calls. And again, another one used out in the open.
Yeah, this is a little bit perplexing. I mean, like, look, the adrenal boost is not exactly like, you know, the best ability in the world, but there hasn't really been any cause for using this at any point. And that's two now, I was going to say wasted. Two wasted adrenal surges from Black Ray. One left. We're still got a minute 40 seconds remaining. Would you not want one or two for that late round execution where you're actually going to be taking gunfights? Sure, I guess there it is. He's going to use the third one now already. I guess the only thing I can think of is using it to maybe push forward, take aggressive positions without being as worried. I guess they do win that fight against Washoy. That's something. Rekchan is down as well. So at least this adrenal surge that was used has found some great use. This one has been used effectively. And they will be in a 5 versus 3 advantage with 1 minute left in the round.
Make that a 5 versus 2. Xenox Pion would have to go absolutely nuclear here. Finds the first kill, but can't get anything else done. Pion, gotta be careful. He's crossed now, covered. Gatorada sends him to his grave. 6 foot under, and Cyclops have consistently
15 round.
15 brought it out. Oh God. Oh God. Pion.
Nada.
Yeah.
Let's go to 15. Let's get there. All right, we've been mincing words. We've been talking about stories and comebacks, final hurdles, all of these words. It's led to this moment. It has led to this 15th round. Thoroughly deserved.
Cyclops defense. 5.
Didn't work out well for them in the last round, did it?
It didn't, but nor did it for Zepto. Doesn't make a difference which way you look at it. They've struggled in OT, but it was a 5-1 defensive half both occasions. The fact that we've gone to OT only for both teams to win their attack is a little bit absurd. Regardless. This is what it comes down to, Xenox. This is what it comes down to. This is where champions are made. This is where champions are decided in this moment right here.
And we're in the final chapter of the story of the 6-1 comeback of Cyclops. And this is where that chapter has yet to be written. And yet now they've got that opportunity to write it themselves and set it in history. A chance at the grand final position and a chance at completing the comeback.
Honestly, I can't do it. A word Smith, my co-caster, is. He would have been a. He would have been a man of the word back in the day. I tell you what, in medieval days, he would have been the one out in the midst of battle, yelling and screaming, telling of the great stories. And there is still one great story to tell, Xenox. You called it. It's come to fruition.
There's a Prisma outside.
Yep.
Cringe.
No context needed.
Oh, Gatorada.
You wouldn't.
In the 15th round. Beep. Yeah, Rekchan says enough of that. The EDD, the Capcan. What is this lineup? The Mozzie, the Capcan, the Echo. Such a tense round here, though, isn't it? Whenever you get to 7-7. Black Ray. Oh! Shot from Pion! Gets down! Advantage Zepto. In this ultimate final round here on Kafe. If Cyclops win, they win the best of 3. If Zepto win, we go to a 3rd map of Villa. They, technically now with destiny in their own hands. Rekchan, low, down, out for the count. Eliminated by Suzushi. A minute and a half left. It's 4 versus 4. Rob could not get any closer.
It's unfolding page by page, word by word. Tayo looking to hit that Kobe, looking to dunk on top of Cyclops. Opportunity gone begging. The nades have dwindled here to all but naught. 2 smokes, 4 flashes, 4 live drones on the field. with a minute left. It's a third floor defense for Cyclops to win this.
45 seconds is all that remains of Kafe. Unless, of course, there's a diffuser that gets planted, in which that will add more time on. Corridors, not exactly a position where you want to be. Gatorada eliminated. Advantage back over to Zepto once again. Ayagator gets antsy. He's got diffuser down. 3 versus 3, but tied with the trade. That's the elimination onto Anaton. That's the Echo taken off the board, and Ayagator is low. Suzushi's had a rough go of things, and unfortunately, they both fall at the same time. Forget your fairy tales, forget your comebacks. We are going to a third map.
Villa is where this is all decided. Villa is where the fate of Zepto, the story